Today on Playmakers, Jayhawk Hoops is heating up with big games this weekend and Julia Davis continuing to rack up honors. And the Australian Open is underway with big matches. We have all the highlights coming your way. And our roundtable is back. We bring you a stacked deep dive into the infamous celebrity golf tournament happening as we speak. I'm Emma Hale, your host for today, and welcome back to Playmakers. Announced earlier this week, Kansas volleyball assistant coach Erica Nasser has been named to the 2025 to 2026 ABIS Women's Volleyball Coaches Watch List. The honor recognizes coaches making an impact both on and off the court as Nasser continues to help elevate the Jayhawks program. In other Jayhawk news, Allen Fieldhouse is about to hit a major milestone. This weekend's matchup against BYU marks the 1,000th game ever played inside one of the most iconic arenas in college basketball. A place that's seen banners raised, legends made, and a lot of memories along the way. And for Coach Self, that history still hits home.
Still, before every tip-off, I look to the guy to my right and left, the coaches, and I say, can you believe this? We're spoiled rotten here.
We'll have more on that historic matchup and what to expect against BYU coming up later. But first, the Sunflower Showdown always brings the heat no matter the sport, and this year is no different. From men's and women's hoops to a preview of track and field, Playmakers Kara Lyons has everything you need to know. Kara, take it away.
Emma, this past week has been a big week for Kansas. Not only do we celebrate our great state's birthday just yesterday, but everyone's favorite in-state rivalry was back in business. This iconic rivalry is only the second longest active rivalry in Division I men's basketball, behind Maine and New Hampshire. As we know, the men's basketball team set the tone last week, defeating the Wildcats 86-62 in Augie territory. Jayhawks sealed the deal when they went on a 15-3 run in the last 8 minutes of the game with a few throwdowns from the big guys. Then it was the women's turn when K-State came to Allen Fieldhouse, and they did not disappoint, also being the Wildcats by more than 20 points. This is the first time KU has seen a margin of over 20-plus points against K-State since 1999. As the saying goes, it's tough to win in Allen Fieldhouse, and the women's team has defended it well. This was the 5th win out of the last 6 Sunflower Showdowns in KU territory. Safe to say the Jayhawks proved that they're the ones that own this state. But the showdown isn't quite done yet. Now it's track and field's turn to dominate as they are currently competing in the DeLoss Dodds Invitational today and tomorrow. The women's pentathlon is underway and it began with the 60-meter hurdles. KU's freshman Alice Lindgren currently sits at 9th place with the high jump currently in action. For the men's heptathlon, Kansas freshman Oliver Duffy set a new personal best in the 60-meter dash and finished second just 0.03 seconds behind K-State's Max DeCunaha. He sits at second overall as they prepare for the long jump. With this rivalry in the rear view, KU looks to stay sharp as they continue conference play.
Thanks, Kara. As the Sunflower Showdown action wraps up, both KU basketball teams stay right in the thick of Big 12 play. The men host BYU tomorrow, while the women welcome Colorado on Sunday. Plus, Julia Davis continues to make history, earning Big 12 freshman for the 4th week straight. For more, here's Playmakers' Ulysia Parker.
That's right, Emma. Over the course of the break, we have had some exciting games and hit the ground running in Big 12 conference play. Kansas men's basketball is solidifying their 5-2 record with a win on the road last weekend, and it only helps it was K-State. Tomorrow, we are going to see what I like to call a battle of the freshmen, as class of 25 Darren Peterson and AJ DeBansa will go head-to-head for the first time in their college careers after both guys had a little game of tug-of-war for that #1 recruit title. AJ DeBansa's height makes him a forward, but he's a three-way scorer with the ability to stretch the defense and really create those outside shots. Now, Darren Peterson's ability to change speeds and create isolation has not stopped him from being ahead of those early draft talks, even in the midst of his back-and-forth injury status. Let's see what Coach Self has on that.
it's hard to be ridiculously aggressive if your body's at 80% or whatever. So we haven't even seen, we've seen glimpses, but we haven't seen an extended period of time where he was whole either. So that's also exciting that we still got that in front of us.
Be sure to show out in Allen Fieldhouse tomorrow at 3:30 to see this highly anticipated matchup. If you can't attend the game in person, be sure to tune in to ESPN. This weekend is bringing you back-to-back basketball games in Allen Fieldhouse, with Kansas women's basketball facing off against Colorado this Sunday. Kansas recently lost to a close TCU game yesterday, 79-77, and the Jayhawks can only hope to bounce back in this matchup versus a skilled Colorado team. We've been seeing freshman Jalea Davis stay consistent with her double-digit scoring, dropping over 20 points the past 3 games. The Jayhawks play the Buffaloes in Lawrence this Sunday at 2 p.m. If you can't attend the game in person, be sure to tune in to ESPN+. Now, Emma, I know that you know College Game Day will be alive and well at Allen tomorrow morning. Are you going?
Of course I'll be there, Ulicia. Playmakers will be covering both basketball games, bringing you all the inside access. Shifting over to Kansas football, a lot has happened since break. Playmakers Jack Jackson and Zach Newkirk have everything you need to know, from the transfer portal to stadium renovations, all in just 2 minutes. Awesome work, guys. Some of our Kansas volleyball players have moved on to bigger and better things. Playmakers Emily Sutter has the latest on who's taking their talents to the pros. Emily.
Thanks, Emma. Kansas volleyball had one of its best runs since their iconic 2015 season and wrapped up officially last month after a tough loss to Nebraska. We'll be paying attention to the Jayhawks going into the 2026 season, but we have to take note of some of our former players that are making moves in the professional volleyball world. Major League Volleyball is in full swing, so here are the Jayhawks you'll see representing in the pros. We've got KU fan favorite Toyosi Onabanjo rocking with the Omaha Supernovas, where she was drafted 8th overall in the 2024 PVF draft. Leaving KU in 2024, Onabanjo played 21 sets in her rookie season with 33 kills, 7 blocks, and 8 digs. She ended the 2025 season with a record 11 kills in the semifinal against the Indy Ignite. She started 2026 off with 5 kills and 5 blocks. Now we're staying in Omaha. We've got Reagan Cooper, who came from the Columbus Fury and was also named PVF Rookie of the Year in 2024. She led the Fury in kills and joined Omaha in 2025. She racked up 265 kills, 165 digs, and 13 blocks. She's sporting 17 kills thus far in only 2 matches this current season. Former Big 12 Setter of the Year Cameron Turner is also playing professionally for the Grand Rapids Rise. Turner had an impressive 569 assists, 178 digs, and 40 kills. It does not get better than that. With only 13 assists in 4 matches for 2026, though, anticipate more action from Turner this coming season. It's important to mention a few other KU legends in the professional circuit, like Laura Bird-Coon, Allison Mayfield, and Anise Havley. Havley, who had her jersey retired in 2022, ended 2025 with 76 assists with the Indy Ignite. Mayfield is KU's record holder for attacks and has spent time with the Supernovas and the Vegas Thrill. Laura Bird-Coon serves as an assistant coach and general manager for the Atlanta Vibe and was previously head coach in Omaha. Coon worked as an assistant and associate head coach under Bouchard in 2015 and then moved to Texas A&M. KU solidifying its position as an up-and-comer in the volleyball world with so many stars in the pros. Emma, which one of these KU Jayhawks catches your eye?
You know, Emily, I've been keeping my eye on Cameron Turner and those stats. She is definitely one to watch as her season unfolds in Grand Rapids. Stick around. We will be right here back after this break with more on Playmakers.
You may not hear it at first, but it's there. Our chant, rising. On this summit, callings converge, voices unify into a chorus that sounds out for good, for greatness. Can you hear it?
The countdown for the 2026 Winter Olympic Games is on, with the opening ceremony taking place next week on February 6th in Italy. Stay tuned throughout this next month. Playmakers will have all your winter game updates right here. Big 12 softball is shaping up to be a competitive season across the board. Playmakers' Addie Rabel has the latest on the teams to watch and what's ahead for the conference. Addie.
Thanks, Emma. With February almost here, that means 2 things. The winter scaries are in full effect and collegiate softball is right around the corner. I'm here to give you a preview of the Big 12 season and highlight the teams that could be gunning for that Big 12 title come May. The Big 12 Conference hasn't necessarily been all that stacked with talent since the departure of Texas and Oklahoma in 2023, but the 2026 season could really bring in a new era of competitiveness for the conference. Moving a little south, Oklahoma State has consistently found success in the Big 12, but the Cowgirls really stuttered last season. Now, while they did actually finish 4th in the conference, they just never really seemed able to compete with Arizona or Texas Tech, and even took losses against Kansas, Baylor, and UCF. They do bring back talent in the circle with Ruby Malin returning, who was a selection to the All-Big 12 first team in 2025. If pitcher Riley Crandall can back Malin up in the circle, they could make another deep run. The Big 12 also features several mid-tier teams that, with the right chemistry, could make a legitimate push for the conference title, like UCF. I'm personally a huge fan of UCF head coach Cindy Ball Malone, who has completely turned that program around. She consistently recruits top-tier talent, and I'm especially excited to see right-hander pitcher Isabel Vega return to the mound for her sophomore season. Vega was a finalist for Freshman Player of the Year in 2025, and she absolutely lit up the Big 12. As for the Jayhawks, I'm very hopeful that Kansas could improve on last season's 6-11 Big 12 record. They returned key contributors like Presley Limbaugh, who has led the Jayhawks in batting average for each of the past 2 seasons, along with pitcher Lizzie Lidwig. Kansas also adds former Wichita State junior pitcher Chloe Barbara, who is expected to log significant innings after posting a 5.9 ERA with the Shockers last season. This finally feels like the year head coach Jennifer McFalls puts all the pieces together and the Jayhawks take a step in the right direction in Big 12 play. Now, the most obvious frontrunner for the Big 12 title this season has got to be Texas Tech. The Red Raiders were in the national championship just a year ago and have since brought in the #1 transfer portal class in the nation, headlined by former UCLA pitcher Caitlin Terry, who pairs with All-American Najee Kennedy to form one of the most dominant pitching duos in the country. Tech also welcomed former Tennessee All-American middle infielder Taylor Pannell, who elevates the offense instantly. The Big 12 is stacked with elite pitching and explosive offenses, which means this season is going to be a must-watch from opening pitch to championship weekend. The first pitch of Big 12 play is March 5th with BYU at Arizona State. Swinging it back over to Emma, what's going on in the professional world?
A lot is happening in the pros, Addie, and luckily for you, we have all the coverage you need. From college ball to the MLB, Playmakers Charlie Marshall and Eli Greenwald bring you all the must-know updates surrounding MLB free agency. Boys.
Thank you, Emma. And we are here at beautiful A-Team Sports. And with the MLB offseason winding down, with all the big-name free agents mostly off the market, we decided to bring you our top 5 free agents and new places in 2026.
That's right, Charlie. And what better way to deliver that list than with a good old-fashioned game of catch? Let's get into it.
Coming in at number 5 and starting us off, the only pitcher on this list, the Toronto Blue Jays, the World Series runner-ups and American League champs, go out and get themselves an ace. Dylan Cease going up north of the border, 7 years, $210 million. This just might be the piece that gets him over the edge. Eli, who do you got at number 4?
Coming in at the number 4 spot, the New York Mets made a big splash this offseason, signing Bo Bichette from the American League champion Toronto Blue Jays to a 3-year, $126 million deal, making him the highest paid third baseman in the game. That's right, folks. Third base, you heard that right. Bo Bichette is going to be moving from short to third, playing the hot corner for the first time in his career, and that's where he's going to be playing in 2026 for the Mets. Charlie, who's coming in at number 3?
Coming in at number 3, we're going up to the north side of Chicago, where the Cubs, they were busy this offseason. They might have lost a guy that we're going to get to later, but they did ink a deal with future Hall of Fame third baseman Alex Bregman. Bregman and the Cubs signed a 5-year, $175 million deal. Bregman's going to be an impact not just at the plate, but also at the hot corner. Eli, who do you got at 2?
Coming in at number 2, going from one side of the diamond to the other, the Baltimore Orioles signed Pete Alonso from the New York Mets to a 5-year, $155 million deal. While Alonso might not be fixing the Orioles' starting pitching issues, the Polar Bear is going to add a ton of bombs to an already super power-heavy O's lineup. Now let's go see who's coming in at number 1.
And at number 1, you heard the Cubs, you heard the Mets, you heard the Blue Jays, but man, the Dodgers are inevitable, signing Kyle Tucker to a 4-year, $240 million. Eli?
The Dodgers are giving Tucker $60 million a year, which is the second highest annual salary in the history of the game, behind Shohei Ohtani at $70 million, who the Dodgers are also currently paying. So as we've seen, LA is not afraid to spend money.
Well, that caps off our top 5 most impactful signings of the 2026 offseason.
For Playmakers, I'm Eli Greenwald.
And I'm Charlie Marshall.
Great stuff, guys. From the baseball diamond to the tennis court, the Australian Open is in full swing, and Playmakers' Colton Kinnan has all the highlights and storylines. Colton.
That's right. The shortest offseason for the ATP has come to a close, Emma, and the first Grand Slam of the year is nearing its end in Melbourne. On the men's side, the top 4 seeds advanced to the semifinals for the first time since 2007. Now, it was no surprise to see Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz advance to the semifinals. However, Sinner's run sparked some controversy as he appeared on the verge of a medical retirement while cramping and trailing by a set and a break. With Sinner down 2-1, the chair umpire ordered the roof to be closed, resulting in a delay, and Sinner used that delay to his advantage and won the match in 4 sets. The world number 2 did not drop a set the rest of the way, including a dominant straight sets win over Ben Shelton with shots like this. Now, Alexander Zverev and Novak Djokovic rounded out the semifinal field. Zverev entered the semis hoping for the same performance he had the last time he faced off against Alcaraz in Australia. Djokovic had not won a set since the 3rd round, however, advancing to the quarterfinals after benefiting from 2 straight opponent medical retirements. But what followed is the semifinals was a historic day at the AO. Both men's semifinals matches went the full 5 sets, marking the first time in tournament history. Across the 2 matches, fans were treated to 3 tiebreakers, with Alcaraz surviving a marathon against Zverev and Djokovic taking down the world number 2. Now, on the women's side, Coco Gauff continued to struggle with her serve and mental game throughout the tournament, and she lost in the quarterfinals. The defending champion Sabalenka is back in the final, where she dominated everyone in the playing field. She defeated the 12th seed Staviolona in the semifinals. Now, on the other side of the bracket, Rybakina took down Jessica Pegula in the semis, setting up a clash versus the 6v1 seed in the final. Now, the two have met 14 times, with Sabalenka holding the 8-6 advantage. Emma, how excited are you for these finals?
After that report, Colton, I'm stoked. Don't go anywhere. More on Playmakers right after this break.
KU supports community, creativity, Kansas. The University of Kansas provides statewide medical outreach, first responder training, cybersecurity protection, childhood development support, and economic gains amounting to over $7 billion every year. Every day, Kansas Jayhawks serve the world by creating a better future. The world is safer, healthier, stronger because of what KU creates.
Welcome back. Golf fans have plenty to look forward to as the 2026 Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament takes center stage. Playmakers Lauren Ritchie, Jude Gussie, and Trevor Burns are here to discuss this year's contenders on this week's roundtable. Lauren.
Welcome back to the first roundtable of the year. I'm Lauren Ritchie, joined by Trevor Burns and Jude Gussie to discuss some professional golf. The LPGA will open up the year with the 2026 Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions in a stacked field of competitors. This unique format pairs an LPGA champion with a celebrity competitor. Before we get into the professionals, I want to know which celebrity you've got your eyes on.
Yeah, I've got John Lester. I mean, former Chicago Cub, not to mention he knows how to win. He won a World Series in 2016 with the Cubs, and a baseball swing path is awfully similar to golf as well. Not to mention, he's played in the Korn Ferry Invitational before. He knows how to golf, he knows what he's doing, and I think this is the year he gets it done.
Yes, he definitely has that experience. And what are you thinking?
The guy I've got is the freshly retired Adam Thielen. He's been out of the game of football for less than a month, so he's still in peak physical form, but he's had a lot of time on his hands. Now, in a recent interview, he said that he has a simulator in his Minnesota home. We've been dealing with this Midwest cold front. There isn't much to do outside. I guess that with his competitive nature, he's been spending plenty of time in the simulator getting ready for this tournament.
That's a good life right there. Really quickly, I'm taking Annika Sorenstam. I'd love to see a former professional golfer just dominate everyone else. I want to preface, too, that as we film this, the tournament has not yet begun, but as you guys are watching, day 2 is currently underway. Now, who are you guys looking at as a potential front runner?
Yeah, I think it's got to be Nelly Korda. I mean, if you look at her, she's made every cut last year. She went 19 for 19. She's consistently a top 5 in the world, and she spent 100 weeks at number 1 not that long ago.
Yep.
I mean, with stats like that, it's really hard to go against anybody besides her, so I think it's got to be her at the end of the day.
Yep. And you, Jude?
I've got the person who took down Nelly Korda. That's Gino Tidikun. The current world number 1, she's shown elite consistency in recent history. She started 20 tournaments in 2025 and made 19 cuts, placed top 10 in an absurd 14 times. Now, just a dominant year, and I expect her to keep this rolling. She will be grouped with 2 retired athletes, and I think that that's going to pay dividends, having that shared athletic mindset in this tournament.
Definitely. And now, Trevor, I'm with you on this one. Nelly Korda has 7 victories in 2024. Now, over to the PGA, the Farmers Insurance Open, which is also underway as you guys are seeing this. Who are your early favorites?
Yeah, mine's Ludwig Oberg. I mean, he dominates at Torrey Pines. It's a course that plays well to his strengths with his ability to drive the ball so far. Not to mention, he placed in the top 10 and won at Torrey Pines last year, which is one of his only 2 victories on the PGA Tour so far. So, I mean, start of the season, he's getting everything going. I love Ludwig Oberg to win here.
Great pick there.
Yeah, with the world number 1, Scotty Scheffler, and number 2, Rory McIlroy, absent from this tournament, which we just learned.
Announced that Scotty won't be there.
The door is wide open for a guy like Xander Schauffele. Just like Gino, he was on fire in 2025. He made the cut in all of his 16 tournaments and finished top 10 in 4 of them. And long irons are going to be a strong factor this week at Torrey. And that's an area where Xander truly excels. In 2025, he finished 9th for strokes gained from 200 to 225 yards. And although, yes, he is strong from distance, his overall approach game could be a key factor to him taking this tournament.
Definitely. He's had some clutch moments in his career. Maybe he'll have another one this weekend. My pick, Scotty Scheffler, before the announcement, obviously coming off his victory at the American Express last week. Hard to bet against the guy, but I also want to remind everyone how close Scotty Scheffler is to completing a Grand Slam. He just needs a victory at the U.S. Open. So real quick, will he get it done in June?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's no other answer besides yes. I mean, Rory got it done at the Masters last year, and nobody thought he could do it. Scotty, consistent number one, hard to bet against him.
Yep.
If he's in the running, if he's in the tournament, he's going to be a top 5 guy. If he's in a tournament, he has a chance to win.
Yeah.
You can't count him out.
Now, guys, get this. His son has seen him win 12 times in his 2 years of life.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
Right.
And I'm going, yes, of course. It's the world #1 golfer we're talking about. Well, thank you guys for sitting down with me today. We will tee it back over to Emma.
Thanks, Lauren. From the tee box back to the student section, Playmakers Ben Vascov and Tyler Brewer are ready to debate court storming. Take it away, boys.
Thanks, Emma. And listen here, Ben and I have been having a debate for some time now about court stormings in college sports. Now, my personal take is we should get rid of them entirely from the game. But Ben, I know you have a different opinion, so let's hear it.
Yeah, Tyler, what are we saying? Like, court stormings and field stormings are some of the best traditions in college athletics. I mean, I remember sitting as a kid watching Auburn and Alabama, the kick six, Davis going down the sideline, and then everyone rushing the field after. Oh, it was one of the greatest experiences as a viewer and fan. And I don't know why you would ever want to take that away from a viewer.
Ben, I'll give you that. But they cost schools way too much money. The SEC now gets fined $100,000 every time there's a court storming. You think that $100,000 couldn't go towards NIL?
$100,000 to these programs are chump change. That is nothing. You know how much viewership, you know how many
Ben,
people they bring in?
$100,000 is $100,000.
At the end of the day, you know how many people are going to be watching the replays of that field storm? Remember Tennessee, Alabama 2022, that kick that like the ball barely made it into the field goal post, and then everyone started rushing the field.
All right, Ben.
You got the CBS Sports, like you got them with the fireworks and everything, and you're going to take that away. The viewers that were gotten off of that like clip alone would pay for itself in its entirety.
I get it, but there's also so many times where it's bad. You look at the Duke court storm. I think it was Georgia Tech storming the court against Duke a couple years ago where Kyle Filipowski ended up getting hurt. There's also so many examples of fans going onto the field and trying to steal helmets from sidelines, talking smack to players, and just being disrespectful and not aware of their surroundings, and it's a hazard for players. It's not good, and it puts everyone in a bad position.
Tyler, what I'll give you is the risk of injury in the security, but that can be improved upon with pre-gaming, the understanding that there may be a court storm or field storm.
Instead of preparing for it,
can be set up beforehand. They can be set up beforehand, so it's okay for that to happen. And if you don't prepare yourself for your team losing, that is your fault. Or your team winning, that is your fault as an organization, as a team. You need to be prepared for these outcomes.
Well, Ben, with field storming, the team that wins gets penalized $100,000.
Again, you know how much viewership you're getting off of these field storms? Like, all I'm saying, Tyler, like, I don't know.
All right, well.
I think right now we need to, wrap this up. Emma, what is your rating and what side of the debate are you on?
You know what? I'm with you, Ben. KU football beating Oklahoma and storming the field, goalposts and all, is an all-timer for me. If you look hardly, you can see me in that video. And with it being our first show back, we had to go back with a fan favorite, the top 5 plays. Here's Playmakers' Gabe Steigers.
Thank you so much, Emma. Playmakers, I missed you, and hopefully you didn't miss these plays over the break, but with the NFL season wrapping up and the Super Bowl right around the corner, here are the 5 best catches from the entire NFL season. Roll it. Number 5, I've got Russell Wilson. He drops back looking for Malik Neighbors, who brings it in and holds on. Incredible athleticism and concentration here. It's a shame he couldn't finish out the season, but fired up to see him back in action next year. Number 4, Brock Bowers somehow manages to pull this football off the ground with the defender all over him. A better catch and a great ball from the Raiders' big tight end. Number 3, Jared Goff wants Isaac Tesla for 6, and he's got him off the fingertips. My word, from the former Razorback. I love me some Isaac Tesla. Number 2, how about some Puka Nacua here? Stafford drops back. Puka says, "I'll take that, sir." Oh my goodness, their season may have come to an end last weekend, but an unforgettable catch here from Puka. And finally, number 1. This is going to be Treylon Burks in the back of the end zone. Are you serious? I had a visceral reaction when I saw this live. Oh my goodness. Without a doubt, the best catch I've witnessed since Odell Beckham and since, oh my goodness, the best catch this season. Unreal stuff. Well, there were some great plays I had to cut out, so hopefully I didn't ruffle any feathers, but Emma, it feels great to be back. take us home.
Thanks, Gabe. That's all for this week's edition of Playmakers. Be sure to follow us on social media at PlaymakersKU to find all our content on the sports world as we see it. Stay tuned for KUJH on Thursdays and Run It Back on Monday afternoons for all the game results happening over the weekend. Playmakers will be back here live in the studio next Friday. And remember, it's not about the game you played, but the plays you made. Rock chalk, and we'll see you next time.